right. So, guys, today we have a unique episode, right? So we are actually filming in beautiful Lakeland, Florida, Christian Lugo's fine establishment, Lugo's Craft Distillery. We've been here before, but it's been some time. But throughout this journey where we got to know Christian and everyone here on this establishment, we ended up meeting someone with common interest in exploring and highlighting the local entities, creatives, and business owners of Lakeland, Florida. So, guys, welcome today. His name is Chaq. I don't want to mispronounce your last name because I know names matter.
It's all good. It's Cozart.
Cozart, there we go. And he is from Updraft Marketing, Iconic Insights podcast.
Yep.
And you've had a really lush marketing experience, but welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Yeah, dude, thank you for having me on, first of all, man. I appreciate it. I'm doing great today. I'm doing great.
So tell us about yourself, man. Do you have a lot of stuff going on? Do you sleep? Is this just a...
I try to when I can. No, man, I have a lot going on, but it's been good. So my background originally, for the better part of my life, it's been marketing. So I've been in marketing for roughly 10 years now, worked for different companies, but also recently started my own marketing agency called Updraft Marketing. But before that, I was actually a news reporter. So I was a broadcast journalist.
You have the voice for it. I got to tell you that.
Yeah.
I really got the voice. Go on.
I hear that a lot, but yeah.
You definitely do.
Yep. So my wife and I lived in Montana. I was a journalist out there. So I was doing different reporting around the Billings, Montana, the city there. And that's really what, I guess, sparked my interest in videography and kind of got me, not early, I was into marketing before that, but it got me really into the video side of things.
Yeah.
And it really helped me when it comes to doing things like this, talking to people and all that stuff. And after that, I kind of transitioned. I went to college, got my degree in marketing, media studies and all that, and started working in the marketing field, actually.
Really?
So I started working for a couple nutrition companies. I was their marketing director. After that, when we moved to Lakeland as well too, I've been a marketing director for a couple companies out here as well. And then kind of transition into, I was just like, I want to do my own thing. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to watch this and be like on that same journey where you're working with someone else, but you just want to do your own thing. So I eventually decided to branch out and started Updraft Marketing a year ago, actually.
That was fantastic.
Still very new, yeah.
I mean, cheers to that. Forgot to mention, we actually got some really good old fashions here at Craft. If you haven't had a chance to stop and try their actual in-house bar, the cocktails are fantastic. Check out Alex, he's your head bartender and in charge of all the cocktails. He's been featured as a drink of the day before. People love him. People love him for a reason. But so was the goal to always be in marketing? Because you said you started journalism a little bit. Was that kind of the end game? Or how'd you go through this path?
Yeah, so I would say originally the goal was to be a journalist. That was the ultimate goal. And I was a multimedia journalist out there. For people that don't know, that means I was not only reporting on the news, I was also shooting it. So I had my camera, I had set it up, and then if I was interviewing somebody, I had to interview them while looking at the camera, while getting my questions correct and all that stuff. And I fell in love with it. And that's another thing that kind of sparked my interest in cameras. But besides that, the original dream was to be a broadcast journalist. I really wanted to see how far I could go with it. Maybe be a host on a newscast. I don't know, something like that. I really wanted to go.
We still got time, man. We still got time.
Well, yeah. I mean, but it changed. When I moved to Florida, it was a very different market. Because when you're in Montana, you're in a lot smaller market. And when you try to go to Florida, you start applying for news gigs, especially with my experience. I wasn't in news for a long time. I was only in there for about a year and a half. So coming out to Florida, it was really hard to try to find another position where I could be a journalist again. No one was really looking for a journalist with only a year and a half experience coming to this market. So
yeah, Florida. That's the one thing about Florida that I've always I do find interesting is that it's so competitive, right? And you one reason that big sick New York City. So to me, it feels much less competitive. But when I talk to anyone else, anything in entertainment in Florida is highly, highly competitive. Whether it's graphic design, Full Sail is obviously flourishing for a reason here. And any kind of media or any kind of news outlets, just creatives out here is super competitive.
Yeah.
So when you came out here, at what point you said, it's not going to work for me? Was it one of those a year in? How long did that path?
So I think it was probably around a year, honestly. It didn't take, when I lived here for a year with my wife, and I didn't have anything to do really. I wasn't getting a gig in journalism. So it was very quick when I kind of just had to make that transition and figure out what exactly I really wanted to do career-wise, which ultimately turned into be marketing.
That's dope.
And that was kind of random. It was something that I already knew how to do. social media. I have my YouTube channel or a couple YouTube channels now. And again, I was a marketing assistant for a nutrition company back then before I was a journalist. And I'd already been in marketing for a few years at that time. So I was like, I'm just going to get back to it and try to make a career out of this.
Yeah, so I felt like a natural progression.
Yeah, it was pretty natural.
How long ago did you move to Florida?
Say that again?
How long ago did you move to Florida?
So I moved to Florida. I've been here for, I think, 5 years now, I want to say. You say? Yep.
Hi. Is it much different in Montana? I'm not even trying to be funny.
Dude, I miss Montana so much.
Really?
Yeah, I love Montana. So, I mean, you get the mountains, you get the cold, you get the winter, everything. I
Love it. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that someone came here and was like, I missed the winter.
Yeah, man, I miss it.
So many people that move out here like, oh, I hate the winters. That's why I moved. I didn't want to be around snow.
I don't like to constantly be living in a toaster oven, man. Florida's hot.
You're not. Anyone on camera can see that I'm not built for this weather.
It's just hot.
It is hot for no good reason at all times. It's like 96 degrees in May.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Disgusting.
So I definitely miss those cold Montana nights where I actually light a fire and just enjoy being outdoors. But now it's a little different. So
no, I love that because it's true. Those mountain air. Well, I'm a city boy, but I get winters.
Mhm.
We go upstate New York sometimes, whatever, and I just, those like random Facebook or Instagram questions where it says, would you rather be in the woods, snow covered cabin in city? All those like, hey, whatever, just clickbait. Every single one. I was like, I don't know why anyone would pick like anywhere but the cold woods with a dog.
Yeah. If I had a choice, I'm going to pick some snow. At least give me snow, a couple months out of the year or something like that.
Yeah.
Not just all heat. So
anyone who wants to move to Florida, please do it. Well, it's full and it's hot.
Why'd you move here though? I'm curious.
So my family moved down here when I was like 25. No, they moved here when I was like 20, 21, give or take. And my mom bought a home, made very super focused in Egypt. She wanted to buy multiple houses, make some money off of it, all that. But fortunately, she ended up getting sick. She's better now because everyone is, oh my God. She got sick to the point that she couldn't really take care of multiple homes. So I moved down here to kind of assist that process and just like, hey, she could have managed multiple houses there. My sister was still in high school, so I'll come down for a little bit, but I'm not going to stay forever. And then I met my fiance about 11 years ago, and now I'm stuck. No, I'm stuck.
This is home now.
Yeah, for now, for the time being. I did meet a lot of good friends along the way, but in no way, shape, or form was it meant to be permanent.
Mhm.
But then when you visit places like go back to New York, and I'll be just honest about like the financials of it, to get an apartment out there for like $2,000, $2,500 a month, I could get a massive house here and keep my dogs and all that. So I kind of got spoiled by that, where I enjoyed having my own space. I enjoyed being able to do what I wanted with my house. I enjoyed having my dogs. I enjoyed being able to get to the other side of the house and have a home office that wouldn't interfere with anything else.
Yep.
Where in New York City, yes, the hustle and bustle is always great. The food is great. The nightlife is great. People, the vibe. Honestly, the thing I miss the most is public transportation, where I don't have to worry about things like the train.
That's what I wish we had more of.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I wish we had more public transportation.
Yes, I'm more frequently running.
Exactly.
Like, and you'd be surprised how often, I almost imagine much less, and yes, it's ironic to say during these kind of podcasts, many less accidents, drinking and driving situations, all that.
Yeah.
If public transportation was readily available, like really good public transportation.
Wouldn't have so many people on I-4 every day.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So. 100% agreed. That's the thing I miss the most. That, and I have a lot of friends out there. There's just a different dynamic of how you can interact with people out there versus Florida.
Yeah.
There's a lot more niceties and politeness. And I'm not saying I'm rude or anything like that, but
that's the first time I've heard niceties and politeness from New York.
Yeah. No, I'm saying here.
Got you. Yeah.
No. New York people are nice, not kind. And Florida's kind, not nice.
That's fair. That's a good way to put it, actually. I like that. Yeah.
Where Floridians will be very polite about telling you to go F yourself.
Yeah.
They're really polite about it. Where New Yorkers are going to be really rude helping you. Like,
that's fair. Yeah.
This is a real story. I was in a train and I was like 20 feet at the time. I was in a train and I see two people that were obviously tourists from another country, couldn't speak a word of English, and trying to read this faded subway map on the train while it's moving back and forth. And a gentleman who, for anyone on the outside looking in, looked like a hoodlum. Just looked like straight up the biggest thug, do-rag, everything. Just looked like what prototypical hoodlum would be on like Chicago Wire or whatever show they fucking depict hoodlums on. And he takes off his headphones, listening. My man, where are you trying to go? And the guy's like, oh, shows him directions. And let me see your paper. And shows him.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, stay here until he points. And he's like, yeah, my man has to get off on here. Make sure he gets off on the right spot to everyone in the train. Mm-hmm. And just a voice in the car, like, I got you. Just helpful for the nature, for the sake of being helpful. He's like, my man, you good. Stay here until he, and raises his hand, tells you to get off.
Now, did he get off at the right spot?
100%.
Okay.
And other people were waiting. Other people were like listening to the whole thing, like to make sure the dude got off. They didn't say anything nice, nothing polite, but they made sure homie got there right.
Damn, that's awesome.
I was like,
Hey.
this is New York City in a nutshell. You stop every 5 minutes to be nice, to have a polite conversation.
Yeah.
You get nowhere.
It comes back to being human, man. I wish just everybody was like that. You know, it shouldn't be that hard to just help somebody get off a train at some spot, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I love that because it's 100%. I try to be mindful of that in everything we do, right? We're not alone in this place, we're in this world, anywhere we are.
yeah.
So keeping in mind, like, it's so much less effort to not be a jerk.
Exactly.
Like,
the world would be a better place. I think that's a lot of things we deal with right now, and just everywhere across the world, man. It's just, it all comes down to just being human again.
yeah.
I think too many people are looking at others like they're not human and just labeling them with something. And now it's, that's not to get into all that, but that's where we're at right now, I feel like.
Kind of the nature of the show, right? We
Yeah.
we gotta get into whatever we want.
Yeah.
I don't, but I completely agree with you. I think that there's a lot of misjudgments that are either based off of surfaces or like skewed
Yep.
information or just not getting full stories. And so much so that I've had friends, and like people I legitimately consider friends, who will talk to me about an article and had not read it. And let's just talk about movies. I'll just talk about a movie.
Yeah.
The movie, the Sky, like, Don't Look Up. The
yeah, for
Netflix
sure.
movie with Jonah Hill, Jennifer Lawrence, and a couple people. Some genuinely wonderful journalists wrote, for clickbait, obviously, based kind of wrote that Scarlett Johansson says that she could never work with Jonah Hill again. Working with him was too different. No, Scarlett Johansson said working with Jonah Hill was too different.
Okay.
On the surface, it's like there must have been something negative because it was meant to see that way. My friend says to me, "Oh, I heard that they can't get along. Maybe I guess Jonah Hill's a jerk." No, the article said Jonah Hill ad-libs lines and he's too funny, so he'll make people laugh because he'll go off script. So Jennifer Lawrence found it hard to keep her composure and be serious during a scene because she kept laughing genuinely and loved Jonah Hill.
Dude, what a great example that is. That's such a great example just because this is the headline world we live in today.
Yeah.
Everything's about the headline. I mean, on Facebook, that probably went crazy because everybody's like, "Oh, she hates Jonah Hill," all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's a great example right there. I love it.
It made me laugh because I'm like, it would have taken 5 seconds worth of effort to not make you look like an asshole. Like,
all you gotta do is read, you know?
Jonah Hill was apparently hilarious.
Yeah.
And ad-libbed.
Yes.
So and the conversation with my friend there, a lot of these highly successful comedic actors have space to get creative.
Mhm.
So directors or writers will even like say something funny.
Yeah.
Like do what you want. And sometimes those ad-libs are the final takes.
Mm-hmm.
Parks and Rec is one of the great examples of.
Oh, yes.
You heard about the funniest line?
What's the funniest line?
What did the writers were on? They were doing an interview and they said, arguably one of the best lines that's ever been recorded on this show was completely ad-libbed by Chris Pratt, and it pisses me off. But he was like laughing. He's like, as a writer, do you have any idea how frustrating that is? That I go to school, I write, and this man just says something off the cuff. It is the funniest part of that season. That's great. It was an episode Leslie Knope is has the flu and super sick.
Okay.
And in real life, those computers are connected to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the office. So Chris Pratt says, completely out of the, it's like, Leslie, I typed your symptoms into the computer and it says you might have a 404 connectivity issue. Like we just said something random that came up on the screen because it wasn't connected.
Yeah.
And he was dead serious about it. They're like, one of the best lines I never wrote. And the writers are like, comedians get to do that. So Jonah Hill did that. Jennifer Lawrence says, he's hilarious, I can't work with him. Turns into Jonah Hill's a jerk and can't work with people.
Oh my God.
Surface versus the reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good.
But I'm glad that you think that we should be treating people better because and that's part of the reason why we do the show. I think that he's connecting with people and understanding what their perspectives are. Okay. Montana, Florida, marketing, journalism, all that.
Yes.
Tell me more about now that you've come here and you've been working you've had Updraft Marketing.
Updraft Marketing, yep.
For about a year now?
Yeah, Updraft Marketing's been going on for about a year now. Yes.
Okay, so tell me about what's the most exciting clients you've had? Tell me about how that's been going and what do you do for these businesses and how that approaches it?
Yeah, man. So basically what I am is through myself with contractors and things like that, full service marketing. So the biggest thing I do is advertising. So advertising on social media, Google, different apps like that, as well as creating content. and getting that content out, scheduling content for people, handling social media accounts. I mean, really anything you can think of when it comes to marketing. It's kind of changed now and shifted a lot more so into videography because there's a lot more, I mean, with the popularity of video and how you need video basically to promote yourself these days, a lot more clients are coming towards that. They want more video work. Which is great for me. I love it. But overall, it's a lot of advertisements and handling social media accounts for people. That's the main thing that I'm doing right now.
That's time-consuming but fun, right?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I'd say less on the handling social media accounts just because of all the work that goes into it. I mean, you think about social media and you just think, you just post something one day and you're good to go. But no, it's the whole planning period. You want to stay on brand. You want to make sure that you're putting out the right message. You want to make sure that you're posting the right time of day. You want to make sure that you're using the right hash. There's a million other things I could rattle off right now, and you still might not get it correct. So that's why social media is so hard. It's not as simple as just putting it out there because it's a free medium or a free way to advertise. It takes a lot of effort, and I think it's a good time to say that's why I think a lot of businesses get social media wrong, is because they don't realize how much work it takes to actually become popular on social media, and not just followers wise. When it comes to getting popular with your audience, that's what it takes. You have to put in the research. You have to figure out who your current clients are and find people that are just like them to advertise to, but without putting money behind it, if you want to be successful on social media. But then if you go to ads, of course, it's going to be a little easier because you can put money behind it, get it out to more people, a broader audience. But overall, yeah, it's the biggest thing right now that consumes my time is just social media and running advertisements, especially on Google for people right now.
Nice.
I'd say one of the more fun clients I've had is actually a veterinarian, I'd say.
Do you get to play with animals?
So I haven't gone and played with the animals. I've seen them. I've been to meetings with them, seen them and stuff. I know, right, dude? I know.
Missed opportunity.
I know, man. But no, it's fun because when I took them on, I didn't know much about veterinary space. I didn't know about advertising for veterinarians, so they kind of gave me a chance. And this was when my company was very new still, which is still new, but it was, I had just started basically. And after working with them for a year, the growth is insane. It's been pretty awesome, especially with their Google ads and their social media ads and just their content in general, and their message overall has been pretty awesome to see them grow and gain a lot more customers locally. So I'd say that's probably the most fun I've had with the client, just because I get to see results a lot, but here I guess it's different because they were kind of like the day ones for the most part. They were one of the day one clients I had.
They're gonna have a special place in the Harvard Gardens.
Exactly, yeah. Being one of the first three, I mean, it was awesome to see them grow now.
That's pretty dope. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome to be able to also, like, once you see that evolution, be able to, like, I did that.
Yeah.
I had a hand in that.
Yeah, at least had a hand in it. Yeah, I'd
you
say I
didn't
had
do
a
it
hand.
because they still have to run a business, but
Exactly.
you had a hand in bringing that attention and giving the opportunity to grow, especially with a smaller business, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So let's say I'm a brand new client.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm a brand new client. Walk me through what that looks like. Brief overview. Not people are going to be like, I could call him. I want more information. But kind of what does that look like?
So when it's a brand new client, I mean, the first thing is going to be the meeting, just to figure out who exactly the client is. So again, let's say you're a veterinarian. If your business is veterinary practice, we meet together via Zoom or in person or whatever. We're just going to talk about what you're doing now.
Yeah.
What is the business all about? What customers are you getting right now? Who do they look like? What is their socioeconomic background? Do they spend a lot of money or do they spend a little money when they come in? Do they get a lot of, is there a lot of surgeries that come through your door? Or is there a lot of vaccinations? Just getting all the information so I actually know who they currently have and who they want to attract as far as customer goes. Once we figure out that kind of stuff, then we're going to go into the planning period and figure out the kind of content that might resonate best with them based on other clients I've worked with that are in a similar industry, or based on just information that I pull to figure out, how can I attract the clients best through these practices, basically.
Building a portfolio for them specifically for their situation. Is that typically just you?
Yeah, so it's just me. It's just me. Yep. Unless I do any type of contract work where it's like, since I'm not a photographer, it'd be a photographer coming in to do photos, or like a website designer. I do some websites, but I'm not, a full-on website designer or coder or anything like that. So I'll have a website person come in and do a website for them. But yeah, majority of it is all me, basically.
Man, that's had to be a lot of time, energy, effort, and learning a lot going through it all.
Yeah.
Obviously, you went to school professionally trained, but were the aspects of that schooling that you had to figure out on your own? Obviously, videography, you got better at.
School is maybe 5% of the process, man,
That's
honestly.
right.
And that's not to say, like, don't go to school or anything like that, but it is to say that whatever you learn in school really doesn't transfer to the real world.
I heard that with so many freaking things,
Yeah, I think school is great, and I think it's great because you learn how to be a functioning human being in society. Honestly,
That is the intangible that people don't appreciate about actually the school experience.
Yeah.
Human interactions, learning how to navigate things,
Yep.
difficult situations. They're still like very much things that, the A's and all that are great. The grades are fantastic, but there's that, hey, I ran into a situation with this class I'm struggling in and I need to get tutoring, communication skills, articulating yourself, seeking help, navigating that. Like, like these are things and skills that you need later on in life.
you need them absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny because a lot of people say, when you go to school, they don't teach you about finances or how to.
You kind of do.
It's like, especially if you go to college and you're living on campus, you're learning how to fend for yourself. You're learning how to grocery shop for yourself or figure out how to pay the whatever the rent bill at your dorm or anything like that. You're figuring out a lot. So I think it's like I said, it's the real world experience that school has really given you. I think more so than just like the times tables and stuff like that people kind of take for granted, which is still very important.
Yeah. I actually had a conversation with a good friend. He's done a tool for computer programming, computer science. He's a returning student, so he's older in life. And he said, it just frustrates me. I don't want to do anything but be a programmer, but why am I taking chemistry?
Yeah.
I usually have a good point against him because we do a lot of mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
We like to challenge each other because it makes us both better.
Someone to go back and forth with, yeah, for sure.
We both agree. It's like, I enjoy it because it makes you see perspectives. I will always challenge my friends. If I don't challenge you, I probably don't like you.
That's fair.
Not challenge you. But I like to challenge my friends. And normally I have a rebuttal, but yeah, I can see where there's not, if you made up your mind in life and you know exactly what you want, that you don't need the exposure to all these things. But where someone is going to college for the first time, how many times have people changed majors halfway through?
Yeah.
How many people have found something else that they love because they were uncertain? And just making sure that you knew normal skill sets
Yep.
is important. But yeah, I could see where chemistry might not matter to someone who's going to be doing computer programming.
And you know what? Maybe it's for situations like that where people change their majors. Maybe they figured out that so many people change their majors per year. We'll throw in these random classes. Maybe it'll attract them to this random subject and they'll pursue that instead. Something more. So I don't know. I feel like there might be a give and take when it comes to some of the classes, because I know I took some classes that I didn't care about, like some history classes or stuff like science. I'm not really a science guy, but stuff like that. I think it was interesting though, and it was worth it in the end.
Yeah.
But at the time you're doing it, it might seem like a waste of money.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you knew right away journalism, marketing was the way to go.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely didn't know right away. I didn't know what I was going to school for. When I first started going to community college, I'm originally from Virginia. That's where I was raised. Not born, but that's where I was raised. And I went to a community college out there, had no idea what I was going to do. I think I started with business administration. I think I always had a hint of I knew I wanted to be a business owner down the road, but business administration was not my thing. And it was mostly because I gave up too early when it comes to the math and stuff like that, I always told myself I can't do math. I'm not good at math, whatever, which I know is not true. I just didn't want to do
You don't want to apply yourself.
Exactly.
Not to sound like a parent. You should apply yourself.
Oh, it's true. I didn't apply myself at all. So that's my fault, but but yeah, even going to, MSUB, Montana State University buildings, I was like, I really had no idea what I wanted to do. The only reason I got into journalism was because there was an internship they were holding at the news station that I ended up working for. So I applied for this random internship while I was getting my degree. Well, they accepted me 3 months into the internship. They gave me a job. So I was like, yeah, sure. I guess this is my new path,
Well, way to fucking go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Guys, we're going to take a really quick commercial break, refill our glasses, but when we get back, we're going to get to know Chaq a lot more and find out how he's somehow stumbled upon a career path because he was on an internship. Be right back, guys.
Sure. Awesome. Nice, man. Hell yeah.
I feel
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's great.
Of course. Thanks, Rod. Thanks. I try to make it, like I said, as casual. What I do afterwards, I'll remove stuff to be like part of like the uncut, unfiltered that's in Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything
so
anything I felt like it was going to be off topic, was more about I was the rules, put that in uncut, filtered up on I guess Patreon 2 days prior to release.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, this is great. I'm okay with it, man. I love it.
Awesome, good.
It's good.
Like I said, I want to know all about your company, but I want to know all the stuff that led to it because that's the interesting parts.
Yeah, no, ask me whatever. I'm getting into the groove now, so ask me whatever. Yeah.
So this is my don't drink and drive commercial.
Okay.
I do personally don't drink and drive community commercial.
Oh, dude, I love it.
I love it.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Hi guys, we are back. So last thought, like literally, I was gonna say our heroes. That's like a D&D reference. we were talking about Shaq about how he ended up in the internship, turned into a job 3 months later, and then changed your major after that. Was that immediately like, hey, I know everything's shifting? And you just immediately after that, you're like, hey, here.
Pretty much. It was immediate. Yeah. I mean, so I don't know, man. School is. I think when you're 20, 21, whatever, you have no idea what you want to do with your life, and I don't think you should personally.
I agree.
Yeah, you should just be at a point where you're trying to figure yourself out. And I didn't get the normal dorm experience. I got married very early in life, so I didn't have the normal.
How long have you been?
10 years now, or well, yeah, going on that.
Oh, yes, congratulations.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So I've known my wife for 10 years, maybe 9 years being married. Excuse me. Sorry.
She's gonna fuss at you.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Right.
Oh my God. But yeah. Anyway, I don't think sports. I think people should just give themselves time. I think you need to experience things. You need to experience the world. You need to, travel if you can. If you have that ability to travel, you need to meet people, get in front of people that are into things that you're interested in. Whether that be, for me, it was cars always. I love cars, so go to car shows, meet people that are into cars. Maybe you'll get a good opportunity doing some kind of mechanic's job or something that you really fall in love with. So my thing was, I never wanted to put too much stress on myself of what I wanted to do, but at the same time, I knew, being that I did get married so early, it was a little more pressure because I need to make money early.
Yeah.
I need to be a little more financially responsible, I guess.
You had to grow up fast.
Exactly.
You really couldn't afford, not that you can afford, but you, as a husband, provider, all that, your focus was your future.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely.
Which is hey, that's fair. I think that's a great thing to do, especially getting married that young, do all these things, having that focus, because you could have turned bad fast if you didn't focus up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I praise you on that, man. We haven't made a decision to like buckle down and get it right.
Yeah.
Seems to be working.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but at the same time, it was too early. Like, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend getting married super early and then trying to figure out things from there. I recommend like getting to know who you are as a person yourself first, and then going out and figure out what you want to do. But for me, it worked out. It's okay for now. But yeah, after going to college and kind of figuring out, what exact path I wanted to take.
Yeah.
Again, I got hired at the news station, and it was something I did fall in love with pretty immediately. That was an amazing change for me. I didn't expect to be offered a job as a journalist with no experience in college still.
Yeah.
Especially just only 3 months as an intern, but it was crazy. It was pretty nice.
That's awesome.
And it gave me some really good experience again with like.
Hi guys, we are back with Shaq. I didn't mean to rhyme, I promise you. So Shaq, all right, so we dug a little bit into what got you into draft marketing, the clients that you worked with, the vet, which I would love for at the end, if you want to do a shout out, feel free to, I don't mind. Sure. But tell us about the other side, Iconic Insights podcast.
Yeah.
So that with a partner, tell us all about that and what brought that up, because I know you interviewed Christian.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
Is it what?
You interviewed Christian Lugo.
Okay, so for that one, that was actually the Locals podcast.
That Locals
with Christian. Yep.
So let's do Iconic, then we'll do the Locals.
Absolutely, yeah. So Iconic Insights was kind of a passion project, man. So I met this guy. His name's David. He's my co-host for that podcast, and we just kind of hit it off. Clicked. We were pretty much synced on a lot of the issues we talked about, a lot of the directions we wanted to go if we were to create a podcast, how we wanted to start it, what we wanted to look like, all this stuff. We were pretty in sync on that. So we were just like, let's just do it. We met up for coffee one day and we're just like, let's just do a podcast. We have good chemistry together and we can talk to each other. It's easy. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we started a podcast called Iconic Insights. And what it is, basically, it's all about interviewing celebrities and professional athletes or anyone like that that's well known, has some status to them, I guess you could say.
Someone iconic.
Exactly. And just talking about them, their journey, and how other people can kind of take the tidbits of information that they offer and kind of turn that into how they want to, make their own life, how they want to build their own, career towards a professional athlete or professional singer or anything like that. So that's the whole basis of the podcast, really. It's just to get those iconic insights, quite literally, and put them out there for people to listen to. And we want it to be different from just any other podcast. We want it to be more of like a TV show, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
So
almost like a documentary style interview.
Exactly. So you seem like you're watching a show. We have our little intro, outro, stuff like that. So that's it's a fun project right now. We're really trying to get to the nitty gritty of who these people are, and it's kind of been cool to meet those people too. So
How often do you release those episodes?
those episodes are coming out every week.
Every week.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice, man. Who have you had on so far? Just for people at home watching.
Yeah, for sure. So far, we've had on a WWE wrestler, AJ Amaran. We've had on another WWE wrestler named Bailey. We've had on a former professional Super Bowl champion NFL player. His name is, now I'm forgetting his name. This is bad. It's not bad.
Minute 39.
Oh, dude. You put me on the spot. Jeez.
All right. Who else other than the Super Bowl?